Happy and good and excited and sad and all those things that you're supposed to be when your show's ending. A family does form on a show like this with all of the series regular actors, especially. But I think even more so, the central focus of Falling Skies has been the Mason family. So the Mason family then extends. They have a ripple effect throughout all the other characters in the show. So we all kind of get grafted into the Mason family in some way, shape, or form. So even me, the alien from another planet, I'm kind of the country cousin in this show, the one that doesn't visit often. But when I'm there, I feel very much grafted in. So bringing that to a close, it does have a sadness to it for sure. Yeah, I don't know. My only guess would be, and I'm not a spokesman for the writers, but when you're dealing with a post-apocalyptic world, it's like everybody's got dirt smudged on their face. They're holding a gun. They're in survival mode every day. How many seasons can that go? Is my question. And I think that Noah, being the leader of our cast and the leader of the characters that you see play, I think he might have been okay with it ending after season 5. The story had run its course, and we all feel like a good sense of now is the time, and everyone's kind of satisfied with it ending after season 5. All of us involved anyway. Right. Oh, that's a good question, because I'm this visitor from another world. You would think that I might go off back with my homeland and my home people and find our way back to our own home planet one day to find that Catarius flower I talked about in season 3. But I think what you'll find in season 5, our finale, our final season, is that Cochise is loving his new friends, and he's having his teenage moments that are a bit rebellious regarding his father, whom I also play in the show. And episode 4 of this season, you're going to find is mostly my storyline. It's a huge Cochise storyline in episode 4, and you will laugh, you will cry. The writers really knocked it out of the park for Cochise, and you will also be revisited by my father. So that's my father comes back to revisit in episode 4, and there's for a very specific reason that I will not get divulged just yet. But through that, we learn a lot about each other, and we have that father-son thing that teenagers and dads have to go through, and we go through that, and we finally come to our terms in episode 4. I'm very happy for this one. Episode 4 was a defining moment for Cochise, and really made me love him all the more as an actor, loving my characters as I do. Yes to
staying on the planet.
Wow! I went all over the place. Let's see. I don't want to give away too much. So I certainly want to. These are my new friends, and that's why I brought up the rebellion. Is that I kind of like the emotional side of humanity that we don't have. We're intellectual. We don't feel. The humans have these emotions. They have these friendships and this camaraderie, this bond that I've never experienced before, and I like it. I'm the one Volm who's more of a poet, right? So I am more of an artist. So I kind of enjoy this. So I will say this: Cochise will want to stay if things go well. We would need ambassadors from all sorts of lands and places for the new order, if there is to be one, if we finally do beat the Ishveni, right? There you go. Wow.
There you go.
Did I skirt that one good enough? It tests every audience member watching it to ask themselves, what would I do in this situation, right? California's about to run out of water. What are we going to do? How am I going to behave if guns go to the streets? You know what I mean? Over water. This show is one of those shows that puts out the possibilities. Like in a world where we have lost electricity, we've lost our creature comforts. What do we become? What would I become? Would I hold on to my morals? Would I hold on to my ethics and my integrity? So you watch these characters. That's what you've been watching for 5 years now. Will be every character going through their own tests and their own trials and their own relationship with integrity and scruples and all that. And for instance, Pope never had any. So there you go. When you meet me in season 3, it was mostly the bromances with Tom Mason and Cochise. This season, I'm branching out more and interacting with more characters on the show. You'll see more interaction with Colonel Weaver, and we almost become Abbott and Costello. They wrote a lot of funny for Cochise this year. I'm really happy with what the writers did with their sense of humor with Cochise. The culture clash, the misunderstandings that can happen, they really played with that more and gave me a more comedic muscle to exercise this year, which I'm very happy about. I also interact with Maggie. She has a growing hatred for her spikes. And what that's caused was that caused the love triangle between Ben and Ben and Hal, and her. It's confused things. She's getting sick of it all, and with that hatred of her spikes comes a little bit of a camaraderie with me. I'm not going to give anything away, but there you go. That's this is what happens. But I knew when I started my career, if I'm not, if you're not Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie, you have to be funny or scary. So I've made a life of being funny and scary as a character actor, and then with prosthetic makeups as well, that broadens the funny and scary that you get to play. And what I love though is when some writers take that funny that creature character and give him nice moments and nice relationships and sympathetic things to play, much like an Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies. You really you're charmed by him. I think Cochise is one of those charming characters. He's becoming more of that every time we see him. So I love the human characters I've played as well. I've got more coming up soon. I'm doing a little double whammy. I'm playing a DC villain on Deathbolt on the Arrow, and then crossing over to the Flash. This is happening very soon, by the way. It's April 15th and 21st. That's happening with my own face. Yeah. And so I can't stop. Here's what I enjoy. When I'm playing a human character, I get to go to the craft service table and get my own snacks with my own hands and feed my own mouth. I love that. I love being done with makeup in 15 minutes as opposed to 5 hours. But the payoff is I only get to play a certain number of characters with this face, whereas the creatures I get to explore other ecosystems, other worlds, other humanities, other things. And about the extraterrestrials, I have played several otherworldly characters in my lifetime, but I have never met one for real out in the woods behind my house. I've never met anything, so I can't say for sure. We shot Patty Duke style, where I would do half the scene this way, and then I would go through a quick makeup change and play this other half of the scene, and costume change as well, to play father and son, that is, in this show. My makeup is in 3 pieces. It is a cowl, which is this face cut out, so the rest, the back of the head and all the neck is one piece. Thunk, it goes on, they glue the edges down here. Top of the face and bottom lip. Those are your 3 pieces. To make the makeup change between father and son. So Cochise is a little bit younger. He's still very wrinkly. My goodness, it's a wrinkly culture. It's a wrinkly race. So this part and this part came off. The cowl stayed on, and they put a more wrinkly, aged face and bottom lip on with a more downturned, aged mouth for the dad character. So it was fairly quick.
So you didn't have to spend 10 hours in makeup.
Right. We did a pretty good job of it, and yeah. So but the blend of the 2 characters on screen at the same time is seamless, and with technology now we can do way better than Patty Duke did. I guess. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.